this one is one of those games where if Liverpool win, I'm going to say it's fucking huge. If we don't win, it's not quite as huge. But if we win, this title is there for us.
Neil, it's massive. And I honestly think they'd be flying after Wednesday. They'd be absolutely flying. Honestly, I mean, you would never look at a Jurgen Klopp Liverpool team and say the shorter conference, but the lift they'll have got after Wednesday night, honestly, they'll be flying. I mean, I felt it myself. You know, you get a couple of glasses of wine, you're watching a match. When that final whistle goes, I'm absolutely fucking bouncing. The rum's coming out. Get it, you.
I'm hanging off the ceiling.
I'm having, you can't believe how big a game that was on Wednesday. And I think, for what it does for us, because I think it kicks us on. There was a lot of narratives flying around. You know, are Liverpool going to be good enough? Have they got it in the legs with all the injuries to go again? But it also kills Spurs a little bit. It just takes away their belief. So that on Wednesday just felt huge. And Mourinho can come out and say, you know, it's only Van Dijk. We know that's not the case. And some people will lap it up, but we know. I've been watching it for 35 years, Neil. I've never seen anything like this injury-wise. I've never seen anything like it. And if there is a big fella up there and he's looking down, any fucking chance of a quieter second half of the season?
He's a fucking
any
blue.
chance
He's
of a
almost
quieter
certainly
second
not,
half
by
of
the
the
way.
season?
Oh, God is not a blue. I want to be fucking crystal clear. God's not a blue.
He'd have a stadium if he was.
I don't know, God willing. Hey. Can't be that gag, sorry. I was going to say he works in mysterious ways, but you know.
But God's not a blue.
Not in the grand scheme, no. Not in the grand scheme, but this season, I'll tell you when that derby was, because that could have been season defining. No Thiago and no Van Dijk ever since, and that goal disallowed. But let's not do that again. He said doing it again. Do you know what, in the aftermath of that game, I did my fucking... And Mourinho always does heads in. I know he loves doing heads in. But suddenly I realised for the first time, he's a pure gaslighter. That's what he trades in.
Do you think?
Yeah, because he comes out of that, right? We know what, every human being saw that football match. Liverpool battered Spurs. They made some chances, but they battered them. It was a clear case of the better team versus the pretender who didn't prove it, right?
I think you're giving him far too much credit. I thought he was a fucking dweeb. Mourinho.
But he kept saying the better team lost.
But he says that to our manager, and our manager laughs in his face.
Yeah, but he then repeated it to the media, didn't he?
But then our manager yet again laughs in his face.
It doesn't change the fact that he was doing his gaslighting thing, which is to try and create a narrative that suits him regardless of the actual truth. I think you give him
so much more power than he's got.
I meant to disrespect him. I was going to call him a pound shop Donald Trump. But
he is, yeah, he's a fucking shithouse.
Yeah, that's my point.
But my point is, when he comes out and he does that to the media, at that moment, it's because it's all that's in his head. When he says that to our manager straight on the final whistle, that's because his head's gone.
Yeah.
We at times act like he's got loads of agency, whereas really, he's really emotional in the moment. And I think he's ultimately a fucking coward and a fucking dweeb.
Well, I 100% agree with that. I think I was making the same point, and we're violently agreeing here. Yeah,
as ever.
But, yeah, I know, very much. But, yeah, it's just he didn't want... It is intuitive to him, it's instinctive, that's how he operates. But he desperately didn't want it just to... He couldn't live with the idea that Liverpool had proved this point. They had just proved this point that they were the better team. Of these two neck-to-neck contenders, it was unequivocal. It wasn't two Goliaths, Titans colliding. It wasn't, wow, one just about... I know it, a last-minute win, it is like we just about came out on top, but not with the substance of the game. And that showed that it really hurt him. I was fascinating because he wanted the narrative to be that he'd done this tactical masterclass again. Look, we can play with such economy, such minimalism, and then we go and get our goal and we just make you look tits all around us. But I thought that first half wasn't how he planned it at all. He did not want to be taken apart that way. And you could see the way Tottenham played in that first five afterwards, that he said to them, Jesus Christ, we're going to get murdered here. Please come out of your own half and attack them.
I think, John, it's one which is just for this one this weekend. With that in mind, is my point that we can finish this one 12:30, 2:30 before anyone else kicks a ball. We could be 6 clear minimum.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about having the early kick-off, isn't it? I'm not a fan of it. Jurgen Klopp, I don't think he likes it. I've got a feeling that he's not a big fan of the 12:30. He's not said, but I'm just sort of suspecting. But one of the nice things this weekend is it does allow us to put that real marker down, doesn't it? And a couple of weekends in a row now, the results have been a bit mad, and it feels like, obviously last weekend it felt like everyone dropped points, didn't they? And I think if we can go out there and, you know, people will be thinking, oh, Palace away, Spurs obviously drew there last week. So it's you know, it's people will be down the mind, you know, Palace, you know, feels like a tougher way in your head, regardless of whether it is or not. And I think, you know, if we can go there and play well and win again, and you know, hopefully, you know, not have to, you know, rely on sort of anything late, although obviously you take what you can get. But, you know, if we can go there and win 2-0 nice and easy, I think the rest of the league are starting to look like it's Liverpool again, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And for all the talk of how many teams have led the Premier League this season, and for all the talk of, you know, oh, it's the most unpredictable one of the year, suddenly Liverpool is 6 points clear, and I think everyone goes is it just a bit predictable though?